Hello, welcome to my channel, Have a Chat with Ash. My name is Ash, clearly. And today I'm here just running another off-the-cuff session where you get to watch me practice speaking impromptu with this impromptu speaking app called Come Have a Chat that I created to just help me get better at speaking impromptu every single day with ideally a 10 to 15 minute session. Now, before I get into today's session, I want to do some quick reflecting to kind of have a think about what I want to get out of today's session, and I want to do this before every session moving forward so that I'm able to start each session intentionally rather than doing it completely randomly, and in a way have a goal for the session so that as I do each and every impromptu talk, I've got this thing in the back of my mind, this goal that I set for the session. And so I'm thinking right now that what I want to achieve during today's session is something that, while it's not a metric that's very easy to measure objectively, it is quite subjectively measured. But at the same time, I should be able to measure it with a feeling. It is, in a sense, the word calm. Today, I want my focus to be calm. I want to give myself permission to intentionally feel calm as I am doing these impromptu drills. Because what typically happens is that as I get the prompt, if it's a prompt that I'm not too familiar with, or if it's gonna make me talk about something I've never really given much thought about, when it comes to that topic, then my level of calm will start to go down as I get worried about what I'm going to say next, or get worried about what I'm saying on camera, which I'm then going to post. What are other people going to think about it? It's kind of, even though I'm speaking to a camera and I'm speaking with no one in front of me directly, I still, in a way, experience similar feelings to what it would be like speaking in front of an audience, just because I know that I'm going to post this video. So that is, in a way, the benefit of speaking to a camera and knowing that I'm going to post on YouTube. I do kind of still get some similar feelings. But bringing it back to what I want the focus of today's session to be is giving myself permission to be calm and keeping that in mind intentionally. And the reason I want to make that a focus of the session today is because I believe your level of calm has a big impact on the way in which you deliver yourself when you speak impromptu. It affects three things. It affects, firstly, the clarity with which you speak, i.e., how clear do the audience end up being about the message that you're delivering in your speech? So that's clarity. It affects the attention that the audience is able to give you, because when you're calm, you're able to do things just differently in a way that is able to grab the attention of an audience. And that's probably because of the third thing, which is confidence. When you genuinely feel calm, you are able to exude confidence and put out, your most confident self, or you're more likely to, at least, when you feel calm. And that also does wonders for grabbing the attention of an audience, because an audience can feel your confidence. When an audience can feel that you're confident, they're more willing to listen, they're more likely to think to themselves, oh, I wonder what this person has to say. Well, they're about to say something, that may change my day. I want to hear it. So, clarity, attention, and audience, I think, are things that are impacted by calm. So, I don't want to blabber on anymore, because if I were to, it would defeat the purpose of what I'm trying to achieve through this impromptu training, which is saying more with less. So let's go. And once again, in the back of my mind, I am thinking, oh shit, did I actually hit record? So I'm going to quickly check. And yes, I have hit record, and we are 5 minutes into the session. So let's get straight into it. So we've got the app here. Let's max out the brightness, put it on presentation mode, and we are going to hop onto drills. We'll look at the setup. We've got 8 prompts. 8 prompts will take roughly 16 minutes. Let's keep it to 17 minutes. Keep challenges off. Keep spicy off, because we know spicy gets into quite political topics, which honestly I can't be bothered, but I know some people may be interested in doing them, so I keep spicy on. Spicy as an option for that reason. And all right, let's go. I'm ready for this. What is the biggest problem facing your generation? I'm a millennial, and one of the biggest problems facing my generation is the problem that we've been able to experience what life was like before this technological boom. We got to grow up without smartphones in our pockets. We got to grow up with a kind of childhood where after school we would go out to play. We would connect with people without so much technology in our lives. But the problem is now that because we are on the other side of this journey where technology is all throughout our lives, the problem that we're experiencing is that because we've gotten a taste of how good life was before technology, we feel this kind of pain in a way of having to miss what life was like before technology. And so this is a unique problem that we as millennials have to experience. But real talk about that topic, I don't actually think it's a problem. The reality is I feel really blessed for being able to experience this life before technology. I kind of just said something for the sake of saying it. I feel very blessed. And I think the next generation, like Gen Z, I feel bad for them in a way, because I think they never got to experience this type of childhood that I did. I've got a kid now who's, I don't even know what generation they call kids born in the 2020s. But her life is going to be even drastically more different than Gen Z. And the mission is going to be for us as parents to make sure that they are not robbed of their childhood, robbed by technology. Because every kid deserves to have a childhood that is lived in person, is not lived through screens. I don't know, there's just so much I can say about that, but I won't go on anymore. Let's go. So how happy do I feel with how it went? I feel like the story was really good, but I feel happy. Not super happy, but I feel happy. How well did you answer the actual prompt? I think I answered it pretty well. How much do I care about this topic? I do care, but I don't care to the point where I can't shut up about it. All right, let's go next topic. Is it better to be feared or loved? I once worked at a company where I think about this person, and it's still to this day, it just makes me feel terrible. I worked at a place where the leader at the company was so massively feared because he would just make the employees feel like crap. He would bully them. He would motivate them through instilling fear. He would be aggressive. He would just be horrible. He would shit on them. And at the end of the day, that worked to an extent. It made people do work, but the turnover was so high. And so I would say that way of leadership was just terrible. Being loved would have been a better way to be a leader. And so it isn't better to be feared. It's better to be loved. Yeah, so with that talk, one thing I kept in mind was the fact that when I did the first prompt, I totally forgot what my intent was for this session, which was to maintain calm. So I quickly remembered just in the countdown for this prompt that remaining calm was my intent. So I kind of took a deep breath before I started the session, or internally at least, and I tried to be relaxed when I did that talk. And I do feel it kind of helped me speak a bit more naturally with my storytelling. It kind of helped me be me a little bit, but at the same time, I wasn't thinking about the time as much, which is okay because I let myself go over time, which is also okay. Because the point of this 1 minute timer isn't to think, oh shit, like I need to get everything done in 1 minute. It's like, no, you can take a couple of seconds more. It's fine. It's in reality, there isn't a 1 minute timer in real life that you have to stick to. But the point is to get to that point as sooner rather than later. Because remember, whenever you're speaking to someone, you are using something of theirs. You are always using something of theirs, and you are using the most valuable thing that they can ever give you, and that is their time. That is the asset they're giving you. So as a way to repay them for their time, you want to give them that thing you want to give them. You want to package it up beautifully in less of a time as possible without compromising the message. And so, yeah, don't be too worried about hitting a minute. But yes, I did remember that was the intent of today's session, and I do think it made a difference. And it just hit me that for me to truly remember what my actual goal is before I start each prompt, I should probably write a reminder somewhere, like write down today's goal is calm and keep it in front of me so that I can remember, because I'm human. I'm gonna forget these things. Actually, let me think about, do I have a pen and paper? A pen. I do have a pen. I don't see a pen and my phone is recording. That's okay. I'll try remember. Let's go. How happy do I feel with how it went? Honestly, I feel pretty happy. Don't feel super happy, but I do feel happy. How well did I answer the actual prompt? I feel like I didn't. I did answer it. I did answer it well enough. How much do I care about this topic? Or to be honest, like, if I was to have the opportunity, I wouldn't be able to shut up about it. Yeah, because I've had some... Yeah, I've worked with people throughout my career that I think their leadership style was more of the type where based on the decisions I saw them make, the leadership path they were taking was one where they wanted to motivate through inciting fear rather than being loved. And I don't think that served them or the people that they worked with. The evidence makes that true, and I've seen the evidence. Okay, before I click next prompt, I just thought about this cool idea for the app that I'm going to add in, which is what I just talked about earlier. Like maybe before I start the drills, but before you start the drill, you write one thing that like you want to keep in mind before each prompt, and then just before it says the next prompt, like it shows you, like for example, if I click next prompt, the screen then shows me, oh, hey mate, remember your only goal for this session is to just keep calm. So when you read this prompt, just read it, take a breather, and just be yourself. Just be calm. It's cool. Nobody cares at the end of the day. Just have fun with it. And if I were to read that before starting the prompt, I think it would actually help me achieve my goal better, like as a reminder. Anyways, how do you forgive someone who has not apologized? It's important to not let yourself feel pressured to forgive someone who has not apologized, because you don't always have to apologize in order, you don't always have to receive an apology in order for you to move on. You can make a decision that you won't let this thing bother you, and that may mean that you need to spend less time with this person because they aren't mature enough to apologize to you for something that matters to you. And so you don't need an apology. You need to give yourself permission to move on from that person. Yeah, so I let myself feel more calm with that one, and I think it let me speak a bit more honestly. I didn't speak my complete truth. I feel like I've got more thoughts to say on that topic because it's not something I've genuinely thought about too much myself. But I am generally happy, like, with the messaging. Yeah, how happy do you feel that went? I think I'll keep it there. How well did you answer the actual prompt? I did stay on prompt. How much do you care about this topic? How do you forgive someone who hasn't apologized? Well, I think if it's someone that really matters to you, someone that's really important to you, and they've done something to hurt you, that did hurt you, that's also important to you, and they haven't apologized, then man, like that is, I think that's a big deal. Because especially if you're in your 30s, you haven't got time to deal with bullshit like that. As you get older, you haven't got time to deal with people that aren't, friends that aren't mature enough to realize how important apologies are if something if they've actually done something serious to hurt you. How much do I care about this topic? Yeah, I'll leave it in the middle. Okay, so before I click next prompt, once again, recalibrate. It's chill. Be calm. Let's go. Artists. Everyone has an artist in them. And it just pains me when I see so many people around me who think that they don't have a creative bone in them, and they don't let themselves tap into their creativity. And I think it's because we just associate creativity with having to be about like painting and creating music, and creativity is just reserved for like, really, really, really special people. But creativity is so much more than the creativity that we see in mainstream media or the creativity that we see on Instagram. I mean, actually, Instagram's a great example. We see on Instagram that people are creative with so many things. Like, you get vloggers who just show what they do in a day. And I think that's creative, and they don't do anything interesting. There's so many ways to tap into your creativity and put out your value. There's so much you're doing already that is creative. And you got to tap into it and realize that you've already got something that's special. The things that you think are boring are things that make you different. Own it. Don't let yourself feel like you've got nothing to share. Those little walks that you go on every single day in, that unique route that only you do, that unique bond that you've got with that flower shop owner, that little banter that you have with them, like, that's creative in some way. It's something you created. It's something that's unique to you. Maybe you're someone that's very good at creating little bonds with strangers. And maybe your creativity can be that you can help other people do the same. I don't know. I've completely gone way further than 1 minute, but I let myself because I wanted to have fun with it. And that's what this is about. Like, don't worry about the 1 minute time. If you're training on your own, just do it. I wanted to see how far I could take it, and I love that. I honestly love that. I'm happy with how it went. I think I answered the prompt. Yeah, I can't shut up about it because I love helping people see that they have the capability to create something that matters to them. Okay, next prompt. I know as we're doing this, I'm starting to feel more and more relaxed, and I think I'm starting to enjoy it. At the start, I was a bit stiff, but now I'm just like, ugh. All right. How do you tell the difference between a disagreement and a problem? There's disagreements and there's problems. How do you tell the difference? Look, mate, not every disagreement is truly a problem. It's normal to have disagreements. It is healthy to have disagreements. In fact, it is really fucking unhealthy to not have disagreements at all. Because if you don't have disagreements, it means you're not being honest with each other. And if you're not being honest with each other, well, then you've got a problem. You see what I mean? It's not the same thing. The prompt is, how do you tell the difference between a disagreement and a problem? Well, the difference is, with a problem, it's unhealthy. A disagreement, it's healthy. And you know when something is healthy versus unhealthy. Oof. I did like that. I feel like I tapped into me a little bit more. And I just let myself free flow. I'm happy with how it went. How well did I answer the prompt? It was okay. How much do I care about this topic? Not much. Don't care. All right, next prompt. Let's stay in my flow. Let's go. Give a press conference explaining why you're late as if you're a world leader. Good evening, everyone. I sincerely apologize for being late. My 5-year-old daughter, you wouldn't believe it. She was preparing an assignment. She was making a draft for portfolio of some housing stock that she was investing in, and I was helping her prepare that. And then a dog literally ate all of her work. Anyways, let's put that story aside. We've got very important work to get to. The topics of today's conference are climate change, housing policy, and the rising issue of homelessness. Now, here's what I propose. I think Japan, China, you've solved these problems, and we want to work with you. Australia needs to work with you to get through these problems. So I propose that we do all meet up for a cup of tea after this conference. Yeah, I don't know. It was just so random. Oh, the thing about creative ones like those is like every single thing you say, it's like now you've got three different options or three different routes you go down, and then you make a quick decision to go down one. Now you have like five different options. Which route do you want to go down? And you have no idea where you're going, but then you know that you need to end up somewhere. It's very hard. It's very hard, but fun. How happy do I feel with how it went? I don't feel happy or disappointed. How well did I answer the actual prompt? I think I answered it. The only thing stopping me from going all the way to the end is I feel like it wasn't rounded enough. It didn't come back to where I wanted it to. How much do I care about this topic? Don't care. All right, I think we're on the last prompt, folks. All right, let's finish strong with ultimate calm. Let's all right. Let's do this. Describe a day in the life of a traffic cone. You think your life is hard. Let me tell you about the life of Jerry. Jerry is a traffic cone. He's got two different races. He's orange and white at the same time. And Jerry has a hard life. Jerry goes to work every single day. He stands on the road. And vehicle after vehicle, he has so much anxiety. Which vehicle is going to be the next one to run me over and kick me down till I have to get back up? Which dickhead is going to be on the road again, driving off the lane, hitting me, and then driving off? People don't know how to drive. That's my life as a traffic cone. People keep knocking me over, but I have to get up, and I suck it up every time. So you don't have a hard life. You got to get over it, man. That's the whole session. Nice work. All right, let's go. How happy do I feel with how this one went? Yeah, happy. I think I answered it pretty well. You know, I do care. I do care about Jerry. I do care about traffic cones. They get knocked over. They deserve the chance to. All right, and these are two questions about the entire session. And interestingly, the first question is about what today's goal was, which was to stay calm. I would say, honestly, I'm in the middle. I feel like I still wasn't like super, super calm, which I think is fair. Like, I think I still have a journey to go. How free of filler words was your delivery? Pretty clean. I think for me, not speaking with filler words is becoming more manageable. Like, I'm quite mindful of it these days. Done. All right, no dramas, crack on. So that's today's session. I think I really enjoyed this one. I enjoyed the fact that there was a goal to be calm, and I had more fun with it than I have on any other session. And it's really weird, right? Like, here I am just talking to a camera, but yeah, I feel like this is a good way to practice, and I encourage you if you want to do some impromptu speaking practice at home, I think the more and the more I'm doing this, I'm realizing, speaking impromptu is never really impromptu because there is preparation you can do. There is training you can do to keep leveling up your baseline, right? And whenever you speak impromptu, you will always fall to your baseline. So if speaking impromptu more and more helps your baseline slowly increase with like your level of calm and confidence, then whenever you are in a real impromptu situation, not in front of a camera, but speaking to people, maybe even in a high stakes situation, maybe in a stressful situation with a friend or a stressful situation at work, you will have a better ability to maintain calm and be the composed person you really are inside. You just need to tap into that and discover that. You need to get up to that baseline that you really can achieve. And that is through practice. So I encourage you, check out comehaveachat.com, get the app on your phone, make an account, and get practicing just 15 minutes a day. And if you can't do 15, mate, just do one. You've got it in you. Thanks for tuning in and have a good rest of your day.